Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, Cinco de Mayo. This is your update for Tuesday, the 6th. All right, let's go. Well, not a whole lot to report in portfolio. TFM triggering on a gap. I did take a second entry on this one. I am long. That is what I'm trying to say. No setups going into tomorrow. There's not a whole lot to look at out there. We only have one short on here. This TTAN. It's kind of interesting. I think it needs a little bit more knockout, but I thought I wanted to get it on the list so we can begin to, or so we have it on the list just in case. But for now, let's just sit tight and let's see what new setups turn up. Let's take a look at portfolio, and then we'll pop out to the overall markets. That's a different portfolio. That's an old portfolio. Let's take a look at the current portfolio. CCL, Flatsville, it's always said and done. A lot more said and done there. TFPM, again, triggering on a gap. Sold off fairly hard from the gap. It did recover to close well and in the plus column. Let's take a look at the overall market. It's not a tremendous amount to report. It's crazy. Last year, if the market gapped down 50 points or whatever it did, and then came back and then went back down or whatever it did today, that'd be a big deal. Now it's just kind of like a blip on the radar, down a little in here, but that's over half of a percent. We're still shy of this 200-day moving average, which is also going to be a little resistance right around this prior pivot point. And then once you get through that, you got a lot of overhead. We tried to say to deal with overhead resistance. So that's just one of those things. A lot of these areas, though, I was looking at this tonight. A lot of these areas are beginning to flip over to uptrend proper order. You know the routine, one day at a time. That in and of itself isn't necessarily a huge thing, but it is important. And you have to start somewhere, obviously. Same sort of action happening in the NASDAQ, not too far away, or still well below, I should say, the 200 simple moving average. And a little resistance will likely hit or occur around those levels, just like the piece. Take a look at the Rusty. So far, just pull it back in here. So far, not a whole lot to get excited. Right at this 50 simple moving average. EFA shares hovering around these brand new highs. So that's kind of interesting. Very, very overbought. Let's see if they can stick it or stay there, I should say. If they come right back in, then all bets are off. I wouldn't rush out and buy the EFA shares. Defense is right off of these all-time highs, too, but it's been wide and loose and mostly sideways and had a sharp sell-off and then that big old comeback. So these V-shaped recoveries at high levels, as I preach, make sure the market can break out, keep breaking out, and not look back for a while before getting too excited about those type of moves. Gold, the commodity, nice little bounce there, rallying out of a pullback. Ditto for the gold stock. So far, so good for that area. Again, not a tremendous amount to report tonight. Semiconductors, so far, just pulling back, although they could bow tie to the upside fairly soon. I wouldn't get too excited about these bow ties at these fairly high levels with all the overhead supply and resistance and all to deal with, but it is a sign, obviously, of strength. Bonds continue to slide a little bit. That's a bit of a bummer. It looks like they do want to come down here and test their old lows. I hate to use the word hope, but hopefully those lows will hold. A lot of areas like energy so far just pull it back from the lows, remaining in downtrend. Financials have improved quite a bit. We're almost to both tie proper order, and we're not too far away from all-time highs. Now, it's going to be very overbought should that happen. But, again, let's just pay attention to see what's happening and notice things as they improve. Most areas, again, so far just pulling back from their lows and downtrends, remaining in downtrends, I should say. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. One day at a time. You know the routine. Stop if you heard that before. Everybody have a fantastic night. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or bring it up on Facebook. Be happy to discuss it there, too. Everybody have a great night again. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.